whose father would belittle the family on a daily basis.
Before social distancing, artist Adebanji Alade met the brothers to hear how an unforgettable family tragedy brought them closer together and changed their lives forever.
I believe art can help reveal the stories behind a face. Today I'm visiting two remarkable brothers, Luke and Ryan Hart, to sketch their portrait. In July 2016, these brothers' lives were devastated when their father shot and killed their sister Charlotte and their mum Claire before turning the gun on himself. They decided that day to remove his image from their lives and their family forever.
We'd always wanted a little sister.
Growing up with Luke and I, she became quite a tomboy. Charlotte was, I think, if anything, she was more adventurous than we were, wasn't she?
Yeah. Our mum was kind of always there and always doing stuff for us, but our father had an obsession with controlling our lives. He would walk around the house and check really particular things. If the kettle wasn't full up, he would check and then he would just start yelling at someone. He was able to pick anything in the house and identify it as a problem, and it was always our responsibility.
One aspect of his control was financial control. Mum's wages and his went into a joint bank account. My father rationed back to her in cash how much she was allowed to spend each week. She wasn't allowed a smartphone. Internet access was guarded by him. So when I left for university, and I could never have a conversation with Mum that our father wasn't also there listening.
So when did you decide to leave and how did that come about?
It was only after leaving university and getting our jobs and saving up enough money, the dream of leaving finally became possible. We secretly arranged this rental place. We picked our mum up from work in the moving van, brought her back to the house. Our father was at work and he was going to get back at about lunchtime, so we had about 2.5 hours to pack up what we needed.
I think it was the first time that we'd ever really been free. I felt like life had no structure, but actually we realised that structure was a prison, and it was the first time we'd ever really got away.
A few days later, the family agreed to a meeting with their father while the boys were at work. Claire and Charlotte went alone.
And he was waiting for Mum and Charlotte with a sawn-off shotgun hidden in his shorts. And when Mum and Charlotte got out of the car, he shot them both in point-blank range before he turned the gun on himself.
I think I just went blank. Like, my response was just to feel nothing.
That first day was just pure shock that nothing felt real.
The tragedy was made worse by the way the media reacted to the shooting.
The press attention was, from our father's perspective, it was a very male story. And Mum and Charlotte were treated as almost props in our father's story.
Yeah, it's quite painful to read of our father being quoted as a nice guy, even after murdering Mum and Charlotte. And it shocked us.
There's all kinds of excuses, and the fact that almost that he couldn't have done it because he was a good neighbour, even though he'd clearly done it. He might have been a good neighbour, but he was an awful husband and a father.
2 days after the murders, Luke and I were sat in the Spalding police station and we saw a poster detailing coercive control and domestic abuse. It was him to a T, and I think that's when we realised that what we went through is understood. We just hadn't heard of it before.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we realised that we needed to do something to help raise awareness of what coercive control actually looks like, because we were always looking for violence, but the violence all came at once in our case.
Since Claire and Charlotte were murdered, the brothers have dedicated their lives to telling their story.
The thought that we can help even just one other person, that in itself is enough to keep us going.
Using their memory to help other people see the way out is a legacy, I suppose, that we can hopefully save other people's lives in their name. And I think that's something that we'd like to do.
Well, I think I've finished, and this is the way I see you both.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's like a mirror, isn't it?
I was able to see the strength in you both, and I think your mum has done a wonderful job in raising you both. It's been a privilege to hear your story.
And our father would have wanted us to be miserable. That's why he did this. So for us, the key bit is to live how they would want us to live.
Now, since that film, Luke and Ryan's charity, Cocoa Awareness, has helped over 10,000 people get educated on the problem of coercive control.
We can go to our very own Rav Wilding and Michelle Ackley at Crime Watch Live now. Guys, you are very much aware of Luke and Ryan's story, aren't you?
Hey, morning both. Yeah, it's great to see Luke and his brother there because we spoke to Luke on Crime Watch back in September. It's such a powerful message and we wish them all the very best for the charity.
Yeah, we really do. It's so important just to raise awareness around this, isn't it? And in fact, on today's programme, we're also going to be looking at the potentially fatal consequences of coercive control because we've got an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at how police in Northamptonshire caught the murderer of 63-year-old Marion Price. She was killed by her second husband after escaping a controlling and abusive relationship with him. We're also going to be talking to an expert in coercive control whose work is now helping to intervene and prevent similar homicides happening.
Yeah, it really is such important work.